Hello. Glad to be here with you. Mr. Vital here, coming to you with the Boys and Girls Club with Brazoria County in partnership with them as we do these virtual learnings for the I Am More Than Enough principles. We were teaching these throughout the school year. Obviously the schools got shut down due to the challenging times we're in right now, but we are here back with another video. As always, I Am More Than Enough is our lesson. Is going to be our focus, and it focuses on three main points, which is love, respect, and gratitude, also known as thank you. Those 3 points are what we were focusing on throughout our 3-week cycles at each of the schools we were attending and working with the kids on a number of these different things. These principles will work all through life for a number of different things and for a number of different ways. And so we will continue teaching those through these lessons as we do our virtual lessons during this time. For today, we have a new exercise. You will love this exercise. It requires absolutely nothing but your participation. If you haven't noticed that when you go out, let's just say, things are about to actually open up a little bit here pretty soon, but for the past 6 weeks, 2 months, we have been hunkered down in our homes. We haven't been able to move around. We haven't been able to go to restaurants. We haven't been able to go to sporting events. We haven't been able to go to activities. We haven't been able to go to school. So for the most part, we've only been able to go to grocery stores, hardware stores, the park, and a couple of other areas. But what is something that they have always told you to do when you do go out? Aside from wearing a mask, aside from wearing gloves, and aside from sanitizing and washing your hands, what is the 2 words they have told you to do every time? That is social distance. All right, yes, they have told you to stay 6 feet from other people. So when you see someone in the store, when you're standing in line, it's 2 arms length from you from where you can be from those people. And social distancing is something to, help sort of corral the virus, help corral the infections that are going on across this country and across the world at large. So social distancing, and even as things open back up, they are still going to suggest social distancing as we look to acclimate and bring some level of normalcy back to life. So what we are going to do today, our focus for today is going to be on love. Love, one of our 3 main principles from the I Am More Than Enough principle. So for today, we are going to do what is called love from a distance. Love from a distance. So now this is an interesting lesson. Like I said, as you're going out, we will still have to have the social distancing intact as we do these different things. So what we are going to do is we are going to learn to extend love to others without actually interacting with them in a physical way. So what are some ways that you can interact with someone? Let's just say you go to a store, let's just say you go to a park, or you're on a jogging trail or something like that. What are some of the ways you can extend love to others? Because remember, as we talk about love, we talk about love of self and love of others. For this one, we are going to be extending that love to others. So what's one of the main things that you can do to extend love to someone else? Yes, this. When you pass by somebody, smile. Just smile at them like, hey, good to see you. Good to see you. There's a nice little energetic smile, because 9 times out of 10, if you smile at someone, they will smile back. And of course, I have heard from those close to me that as people are moving around and after they've been hunkered down in their homes, it's it can be a lot of anger in the streets, and it can be a lot of, people not being as polite as they usually would be when things were opened back up. So what we want to do is simply smile. And 9 times out of 10, somebody will probably smile back. So the first thing we want to do is smile. A second thing we want to do is another simple gesture of love, to love from a distance, is to wave. So basically this is like a hi to other people. You'll want to wave. Nothing wrong with waving. Waving is a beautiful thing, and most people will absolutely love and admire you sending them a wave their way. Also, let's just say you're in the grocery store and someone is doing something and you acknowledge that they're doing something that you like. You know, you may look over at them, you may smile, you may wave, or you can be like, hey, that's a good thing you're doing right there. You know, let's just say you saw someone, you know, helping someone else with, you know, grabbing something off of a shelf and making sure they're keeping their distance, but helping somebody with something off of the shelf. You might smile and do a little something like that. That's another way you can extend love to someone in that way. And if you don't want to do the clap, you can do a thumbs up. So you got the thumbs up, you got the clap, and the thumbs up. Both of those are letting someone else know that you see what they're doing and you admire what they're doing, and you are congratulating them like, hey, good work, I see you, you know, those types of things. So those are some of the ways you can love from a distance. And one of the ones I like to use, and I do this in my fitness classes a lot, when you see someone from a distance and, you know, you're not to where you can yell out to them or whatever, you know, just send them a salute. That's a thing that a lot of people do. A lot of guys do it probably more than girls do. But it's a cool little thing. You see somebody over there and you're like, hey, I see y'all there, like, you know, give them a nice little salute. And that's a cool gesture to do, to be able to share like a satisfactory, like, I see what you're doing over there and I like it, and I thumbs up, commend, clap, and all of those good things. And of course, the last but not least is always the standard hello with a nod or a head up, one or the other. They usually for the younger generation, they'll do the head up. For the older generation, when you see an older woman or gentleman, you give a quick nod down and different things like that. So how we love from a distance. We love from a distance by showing signs to where you don't have to physically exchange with someone, but you are sending them some physical, energetic energy by not being close to them, but still letting them know you love and care and admire what they're doing. So next time you're going out to the grocery store, the hardware store, the park, or anything like that, try some of those cool love from a distance little activities. It'll be a cool thing to do. And for one, you want to share love with others. This is a time when people want to feel connected with others. They want to feel love. You know, they've been in the house with all of their people and they want to get out and they want to feel the love from others. So thank you for your time. Go out and try that. Love from a distance. Love your neighbors as you would have them love you back as well. Again, Mr. Vital here in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. See you here again soon. We got our mailbag coming up, so be sure to stick around and we'll check back in with you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Mr. Vital here again, teaching the I Am More Than Enough principles in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. Hopefully you've had the chance to try out your love from a distance where you give nonverbal loving gestures to others who you see while also maintaining the social distancing that is needed right now during this challenging time. So now we come to an exciting time of the segment. It is the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County mailbag question. And we're gonna do a little bit different today because as I was looking through the questions and I was getting some things together, something happened when I left my house this morning. And it was two young boys riding bikes, and they looked at each other. They were socially distant, but they were riding their bikes and they were outside. And one of the young kids, I'd probably say he was 7 or 8 years old, he looked over at his friend and said, "When do you think this coronavirus is going to end?" And the young man gave a nonverbal answer, and he was just like, that's all he did. And then the guy was like, the kid was like, "So you don't know?" And he was just like, man, the guy was just like, one kid was like, I don't think it's ever going to end. And the other kid was like, you know what? I think eventually it will. And it got me thinking as I was getting into my car, I was just like, you know what? Both of them are correct. Now, obviously one was looking at it from more of a pessimistic or a negative standpoint, and one of them was, exhibiting optimism, but at the same time, both of these young men's answers were correct. And what do I mean by that? The one who says, I don't think it'll ever go away. Well, he's absolutely correct. We have diseases that have been with us since the beginning of time, for the most part. The flu, heart disease, the cold, a common cold, has been around for forever. So he was absolutely correct in saying that it is not going to go anywhere. And the other kid was just like, I think it will end. And where he was thinking was, he said, there will be a time when we will come back to some level of normal life and we'll be able to deal with this challenging time much better. And what I was basically thinking when he was going with that was, he was just like, we are not going to be in a situation where we can't go to school much longer. We won't be in a situation where we can't go to sporting events much longer. We will not be in a situation where we cannot go into restaurants and enjoy each other's company much longer. Is it still a threat? Absolutely it is. And we have a lot of things that are threats to us that we deal with every day, that we've been dealing with for decades, hundreds, thousands of years. But both of those young men were correct. One of them was saying it will never end, and one of them said it will end. And both of them are correct from the standpoint of saying, you know what? We will be able to overcome this. We'll be able to have a vaccine, but it still will be among us. It will still be around, and we will still have to deal with it accordingly. But the bottom line is that we cannot get discouraged to the point where we think that this way of living, this way of life that we have is going to totally end. Will it change? Will it alter? Of course it will. Life for us changed after 9/11. After 9/11, going to an airport changed completely. Buying a home changed completely. The Patriot Act, getting searched at airports, all of those things changed. And with this, we will have to do a few things different. We're doing a lot more things online. Here we are doing some virtual learning, whereas this lesson would usually be done in a classroom at one of our schools with the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County. But yet here we are. Here we are enjoying this time and being able to embrace the time that we have right now. Will we come back to some level of normalcy? Absolutely. Things are already starting to open back up, and we will begin to start slowly getting back into the routines that we have. Are things going to change? Yes. So I want to thank those two young men who were riding bikes around my neighborhood and ask, when is this going to end? It's not going to end, and it will end. And I thank both of them for their insight and for their mailbag questions for today. For those of you who want to submit a question to the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County Mailbag, feel free to send me an email at info@ahmadvital.com. That's info@ahmadvital.com. Thank you for your time. Once again, we look forward to sharing these lessons with you. We'll be back here again soon and hopefully bring back another lesson to you all. Be well, be safe, and keep showing up on the field of life. That's my time. Thank you much. We'll see you soon.